build-up for Kipchoge did not come from Kenyans. Let's be very honest.
No. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, let's be very
honest.
honest.
But the build-up is there.
It didn't come from the first time.
The build-up is there.
It is there. The first time when Kipchoge won, when he broke the world record in 2018, most Kenyans did not. I would tell you, like even 99% of Kenyans did not know who Kipchoge was. It's one of those things where I think there has to be an initial investment with no expectation of profit, because I think one problem we have is that generally in society, not only in Kenya, but in a lot of places where we tend to profitize everything.
Yes.
Like, if we cover marathon, are we going to make money out of it? I think that's a very, very problematic way of looking, especially at things that are long-term investments.
Yep.
Look at the recently concluded March Madness. There was a time it was unthinkable, like having women's sports in college. This recent NCAA tournament, the women's finals had more views. Had more viewers than the men's finals.
Yes. Double the price.
By the way,
yeah, so
why?
Yeah, so there was a lot of like in the 70s when Title IX was brought, people felt like, okay, this is gonna be, we're being forced to pay for something that eventually will not be a profit, will not pan out. But see, they were patient, and it took this many years. Even the WNBA came into existence not too long ago. Previously, American basketballers would finish college and they would go women basketballers and they would go play abroad.
Europe, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, they would go abroad, yes.
They would go abroad mostly. Even right now, they're paying the WNBA. The WNBA is not that good that during off season they still have to supplement their income
in Europe
to go play abroad. And
but isn't the NBA also supplementing their
Russia?
No. NBA NBA men's they're supplementing kidogo. Kuna pesa wana supplement.
Maybe after the incident with what was her name, the
lady Griner,
yeah. Maybe after that they've now realized that, hey, maybe we need to play this game a different way in terms of
they go to supplement in Spain and France.
Yes.
Yeah,
of course.
Russia, maybe you look extreme.
Yeah,
I'm sure no one's going back there.
No chance.
Yeah, so that's the thing, like mtu kama konanja, I mean, you don't know, because during off season, I don't know how much they get paid. I think the very top tier players in the WNBA get paid well, but the average players, you still have to find a way of supplementing your income during the off season. Now in the NBA,
the thing
during the off season, you're sharpening your skills. You're not going to play in another league. Mika.
The thing is this, and the WNBA unfortunately does not attract the same amount of fans that the NBA does. You know that the NBA is what funds the WNBA. Like in itself,
yes,
it's always making losses. So it's heavily funded by
but
the
it's all about build up, Mika. Angalia
No. Yeah, ndo nasema. No, ngoja ni land bandio.
Karibu.
What I was saying is that you will find the NBA has a lot of female fans. A lot of them. If half of them started watching WNBA games, that league will be able to sustain itself. Unfortunately, its majority of its fans uko wanaume pia.
I honestly think if investment in marketing is done,
was put and targeted to women,
yes,
they would have been. They would make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Ni wa challenge kwenye draft ya NBA na WNBA, tuone itakuwaje, kwa sababu build up ya hii March Madness, kina Caitlin Clark, kina
it was big.
Yule kutoka South Carolina.
LSU.
No, Reese. No,
the Brazilian chick.
Yes.
Cardoso.
Oh God.
Yeah, Cardoso. Yeah.
Calm down, brother. Calm down.
Where?
Bandillo, calm down.
Calm down.
Cardoso.
Yeah.
So I mean, my point is,
I thought you were saying Kagera.
Ukiangalia build up ambavyo imekuwa sasa hivi.
Yeah.
I will not be surprised kuona kwenye NBA draft
Correct.
ya wasichana ikaja.
It will attract,
Yes.
Well, this is an opening. I mean, this is, they need to strike on the iron.
So go back to, unfortunately, I have to agree with one mic, Leo, kwamba ni intentional, just being intentional.
Yeah,
that's it.
It has to be deliberate. You know, like it cannot be, you know, we cannot keep saying that it will not make money.
No.
We have to sustain those losses for a while until we start making profit.
But also intentional by making sure that we voice it, we put it out there, we say it, we dictate, but we say, Boston Marathon, here we are coming, we make it, we supplant the seed of making it an event to want to look forward to.
So how does that look in the diaspora? Like supplanting that seed. How exactly does that look? Do we engage influencers? I mean, like, what how do you think this should be
like how we did for rugby? Is that simple? How we did for rugby, you know, like with Mika coming up with the 20 study, because
we need to
we were passionate
push them
about
out,
that.
put it
Flyers,
on Insta.
this is going on or whatever. If guys are going to have a watch party, or they're going to have a party, if they're going to organize a bash, we link up with them, like something. Because like now, for example, the dinner for youth champions, we focus on that. Like, if you want to meet the runners or whatever, tukutane huko studio. If it is Boston, that is how. If it's Chicago, we bring up Top Don. We know Top Don. Already we've linked up with Wahome. If Chicago, we get Top Don.
But now one thing that rugby had that I don't feel, you know, like marathons or track and field have is a band of very passionate people. And I say this, the reason why I say this is because even if you did not watch rugby, you would always know about those people who are passionate about rugby.
But
now here's the thing. Here's the thing about you know, like athletics. Even those people who are very passionate about it. You see, like rugby people, they would constantly be talking about rugby. Even back in the days when it was a small band of people, they would constantly be on social media talking about it. That doesn't happen so much with the people who are very passionate about Watuambio. You know, like it doesn't happen that much. And that's the reason why, because there has to be that band of, by passionate people, I mean people who are, you know, like following this ish on a daily basis,
you know,
not from marathon to marathon.
But here's the thing.
Yeah,
I look at it from this perspective. At one point in time, we were rugby people, because that's all we used to hype up. We always looked.
No,
we always.
But when I say passionate people, I mean people who were doing this well before people became rugby people.
But I understand that.
Yeah.
I know guys who are rugby through and through.
Yes.
Someone like Marine, Misha.
Yes.
Akina.
There's a whole horde of them.
No, there's a whole horde of them.
Yeah.
So that has been, and you know, like Mika said, like, you know, there's always rugby. It's just that I'm gonna say this. I believe that there are passionate people who are pertaining to athletics. We just don't know that they exist. I believe they exist, and if the platform is created or an avenue is provided, they're going to come.
But now you see the interesting thing with the rugby people, whether you liked it or not, you knew of their existence. Whether you liked it, whether there was always, and it was in almost every state, you know, like there was always someone with what were, and I think it's different personalities. Maybe it's different personalities.
But also
like
rugby is a team sport.
Yes, it is a team sport.
Running is a solo sport.
Yes, it is a solo
So,
sport.
you know, it's not like, let's get together, let's, you know, we're competing to win. It's solo beans. You are at it solo.
Formula One is also a solo sport.
It is you can call it.
No, it's a team sport.
It's a team sport, but then you have one driver, you know, like who
drivers.
They have, you have a driver and a co-driver.
Two drivers.
Yeah, but
No,
it's
No,
still
two drivers.
Okay, then let's talk about tennis. Tennis
Yeah,
is also
solo.
an individual sport.
It is an individual sport.
It's an individual sport.
Yes.
But then you have boxing is an individual sport.
Right.
But then, you know, you still have people who are very passionate about it that are visible. So I think the
boxing
issue.
fans, you'll know.
Yeah,
that
you'll
the
know them.
boxing
You'll
fans-
know them.
Yeah,
but with especially Kenya being world hitters in when it comes to marathons and when it comes to long distance running.
But the reason I'm disagreeing with you is because the love that Kipchoge has been shown by non-Kenyans has been overwhelming, and you yourself have stated it over here.
Because of the build-up.
Exactly, because
They
the
created
people are
everything.
there.
The build up for Kipchoge did not come from Kenyans. Let's be very honest.
No. That's
No?
what I'm saying.
Yeah, let's be very
But
honest.
the build-up is there.
It didn't come from the first time.
The build-up is there.
The first
It
time
is there.
The first time when Kipchoge won, when he broke the world record in 2018, most Kenyans did not. I would tell you, like even 99% of Kenyans did not know who Kipchoge was until he won. You know, so that's why I'm saying there has to be a
Other
local
the late,
Kelvin Kiptum.
yeah.
Yes, Kelvin
People knew
Kiptum.
him when he broke the record.
People knew him when he broke the record, and even more people got to know him when he died. You know, unfortunately. So that's where I'm saying this build-up has to come locally. Hii build-up tunategemea ya...
And that is us.
Hii build-up tunategemea ya... This build-up, it has to start from... I mean, us is an easy word to say, but it has to start from the people who are very passionate about it. You know, like, by very passionate, I don't mean people who follow marathon to marathon. We're talking about the Chief Louis. People who are following it day to day, they know what camp this runner is in.
Yeah.
You know, like unamwamsha asubuhi anakwambia huyu runner yuko camp fulani, anakwambia most likely
And those-
huyu atarani marathon na that's where
And those are the people.
that's where it has to start from.
And those are the people we need to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm saying
Chief
that's where
Louis.
it has to start from, and that's where it needs to get louder and louder. Because you see, with the rugby boys, they were always there. You know, like
They've always been.
regardless of whether people
have
are gonna
always been.
come or people are not gonna come.
Yes.
There's always that band. They're always talking about it. They're always, so you could always you know, like know about rugby.
This past weekend, actually, I attended. There's some a bunch of old guys who are playing rugby somewhere in Bolti. Marine invited us. Like I saw a guy who I think was in his 60s still playing rugby,
Yeah.
and you know they're Jungus.
And now you see,
And then there were two blacks, actually three.
When you-
Nisha, Marine, and another black guy who came to play.
but you see, when you cultivate from the people who have passion, then that eventually starts building other younger people.
So they
with that
have to be
passion.
they themselves also have to be intentional in spotlighting
Yes.
the whatever, so that even us now we can actually, because saa zingine unaweza peleka punda ng'ombe kwa mto lakini iweze kafanye
Yeah.
kunywa maji.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
Do
And
you
over
guys
here,
think that Gava should be involved?
before think about that. Over here, I think
Better.
let me read over here some comments over here. Someone is telling me that marathon is a team sport. Why are you not mentioning the pace setters?
Well, I mean, that's also
In Ali's mind, they didn't set a pace. They fell Huko and Kipchoge won.
Thank
Well,
you. Carry on.
almost.
Back to Moshe's question.
So yeah, my question was, in as intentional as we want to push and say this and blah blah blah, I think it would make sense, from my opinion, to have Gava also push this from a touristic perspective. Because with the marathon, with all the hype that comes behind Kenyans, especially when Kenyans do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's people who want to come to Kenya to train,
experience it. Yeah.
to experience, to even go to where's you just mentioned
Iten.
to Iten, to even to isn't there a Nike facility or something in Iten? I thought there was a Nike one, but you can actually go over there and train with those athletes who are training in Iten, who are doing, and that in of itself is
Magical
actually
Kenya.
it's correct. It's a touristic thing.
Again,
But you can they should make it intentional to keep pushing this, because our athletes, as long as we know that they are participating, watauma number 1, 2, or 3, as long as they're participating.
But if you recall, I think when we had when and I think Mika has mentioned this today. akunanga, you know, like they don't have meets, they don't have compares, they don't have anything that even
who's
within
who's they
the runners in Kenya, like the athletics, the long distance
domestically.
runners.
Yeah,
domestically,
there might be one or
they
two.
don't have,
But there's no.
they don't have anything.
There
There's
one or
something
two
that is.
domestically.
There's something that is. There's nothing that's a major.
The
You
one
know,
or
they
two
don't have a major
domestically.
that they're bringing guys from outside.
The one or two domestically are charity runs.
Charity
They're
runs.
charity
Yeah,
runs.
Standard
That's it.
Chartered, and I think there's something else.
They
For
don't have.
example, Kenya hakuna marathon.
Hizo ni
you know,
watu
like
kona kimbia, kunanga mta kukimbia. Those are not, there's no
But
problem.
yeah, I mean kuna race yoyote katika level ya Boston ambayo iko Ethiopia? Unaifahamu?
Ethiopia, no.
No,
Okay, kuna race yoyote ambayo iko Kenya?
no.
No.
Going
Now the interesting thing we learned from Chief Louis is that katika these major marathons, which are called Abbott, Cape Town has won an Abbott leg. So Cape Town in the coming years will be hosting one of these major marathons.